Well, today was an interesting day. I talked to an officer from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. His card is right here, and I'm going to tape it up. Also, I'm put a spare one down in the Rolodex, so we'll have his number. He was very friendly. He's over like I-80 in this kind of corridor. So his cell phone number's on here, and he would like us to text or call him if we come across anything suspicious. So let's kind of go over what he considers suspicious. Their big thing is they're into big things. They don't want like little local drug busts, or if the people have already left, they want to get people that before they have left. So really he wants us to look at people as they check in. So what he said to do, that at check-in, so he wants to be ahead. So if we think of something as weird, or if something is just off at check-in, or as they're putting stuff in the room, we're like, there's something up there, he wants us to call him and text him either the information or the driver's license number or the license plate number, and he'll check out on his computer. He said even if it's the middle of the night, he said, I'm fine. I've got my computer sitting by me, and I'll just quickly open it up and check it. So anyway, he said that there is so much drug trafficking going back and forth on I-80. He said 80% of what they're picking up is drug trafficking. The other 20 are like gun running and human trafficking. So they also want us to be on the lookout for that, but it's mostly drugs. So what to look for is people that check in and they pay with cash or with those prepaid cards. They said that if there's a way that they can put regular credit card numbers on prepaid credit cards, so it looks like a prepaid credit card, and anyway, it's stealing money from people, and then there's no way to track it back. But he said that's one of the things to watch for, is people paying cash or their prepaid cards. He said that they're also usually friendly, so they don't come across suspicious. They're nice, and then a lot of times they'll talk to you and say, oh yeah, I'm driving out to my mother's funeral, and I'll be back in a few days, coming back in a few days. So it's like a conversation about that they'll be going long distances or something like that. He said, so just kind of engage with them. Say, oh, really, I'm so sorry, and where did she live, and where do you live, and just kind of get a little more information about why they might be traveling. So then when you text him, you can give him that information. Then if he ends up tracking them tomorrow, and he pulls them over and he's like, oh, where are you headed? And if they come up, oh, I'm taking my son George to college, well, then the story is totally different. So he'll know, oh, there is really something here, so that he can track that a little bit better. And then the other thing was if the car or vehicle doesn't match the person. His example was like a 20-year-old kid in a minivan, or he said a lot of the times it's rental vehicles, so I'll still be suspicious of people in rental vehicles. He said they're usually like not flashy or anything like that. They're regular, but they're usually newer, and they're rental vehicles. And so if any of this, or they might be nervous and they talk a lot, he called that something when they talk a lot, overcompensating. So anyway, watch for that. They're just off, they're nervous. If there's more than one person but only one comes in, I know that happens a lot anyway, And if they have IDs instead of driver's licenses, that can be a sign. And so if they come in and you're at all suspicious, ask them to go get their license plate number. A lot of times, we'll say, oh, red card, that's fine, or whatever. But if you're getting any weird vibes off them at all, ask them to get their driver's or their license plate number. Now, for truck drivers, his suggestion was if they're owner operators, so they don't work for a certain company, or they work for their own company like Bob's Transportation or something, and then like they'll suspiciously stay when you're thinking, well, shouldn't you be out working? I know it happens sometimes where their truck's being worked on, or other reasons, or it's their 36-hour reset. But he said, like sometimes if this is their delivery spot, what'll happen is whoever's supposed to be bringing the money or whatever won't have the money or items ready yet, so they'll end up just having to keep staying over. And that's the same for people that might be in cars. They'll just randomly stay longer, and you're thinking, I thought you were driving to your grandma's funeral. Don't you need to be going? So anyway, that might be something to be on the lookout for. Then when they go to the room, he said a lot of times they'll back up to the room or get really close to the room. They'll probably request a door outside downstairs, and they'll carry in like big duffel bags. He said they buy them at Walmart. They're just giant, and a lot of times they have stuff in them. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll take whatever it is that they're selling or the money into the room. Then they'll leave. They might go and like put the key somewhere, some bathroom somewhere or under a rock, and then text or call the person that they're exchanging with. Then that person will come make the exchange in the room after they've picked up the key. Then they'll leave, return the key, and go back. So they said if like different cars of people go to the room, that's suspicious. May stay over and not want anything, but we get a lot of those. And I think that's pretty much what he talked about. So he wants us to call or text him. I said, if we're a little suspicious, do you want us to text you or call you? And he said, yes, little suspicious is probably better because the good ones know their stuff. So, all right, talk.